Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, a 6-month moratorium on medical marijuana dispensaries is approved in the city of Bradenton. This morning, the city council voting unanimously on that proposal. The city joining other area governments in adopting the moratorium. It will give city officials time to understand what the regulations will be now that the use of medical marijuana was approved by voters.
We really have to see what the law actually looks like. We know that it's been okayed and people are in favor of it. Now the legislature has to put together a bill that talks about that. We want to know what the rules are, what we implement, how we police it, how we zone it. Give us the time to do that.
That's Mayor Wayne Poston of the city of Bradenton. Council members say at least one application has been submitted to open a marijuana dispensary in Bradenton. Manatee County approved a 6-month moratorium yesterday. 71% of Florida voters approved medical marijuana in last month's election. An Uber driver is hurt and his car totaled after a carjacking in Bradenton. Police say it happened yesterday afternoon along 19th Avenue West in Bradenton. Investigators say the 67-year-old driver had just dropped off a customer when a man and woman jumped into his vehicle. The two did not prearrange the fare, but the victim agreed to take them just down the street. When they arrived, police say 19-year-old John Suggs jumped into the front of the vehicle and started choking and beating the driver. The driver was pushed out of the vehicle, and police say Suggs and Michelle Bagger took off. They were eventually found in Pasco County and arrested after a police pursuit. The vehicle was totaled. Suggs is charged with carjacking and aggravated battery. Bagger is also charged with carjacking. Sarasota County officials say there is a way to pay for a new courthouse in Venice without requiring voter approval. Sarasota Herald Tribune reporting county staff have come up with some creative ways to renovate the R.L. Anderson Administration Building without going over the $22 million borrowing limit. The plans have now been revised to include renovating the building, improving parking, and adding a new 1-story, 4-courtroom facility that will connect to it. A record-setting nesting season for Suncoast sea turtles. Mote Marine scientists revealing a record 4,588 nests this year. That beats last year's record by a bunch, more than 2,100 nests. Mote Marine biologists believe one reason we're seeing more nests is because baby turtles they started to protect 30 years ago are now old enough to lay their eggs.
The west coast of Florida generally has lower nesting than the east coast, but our area of the west coast is one of the more populous areas, I guess, for nesting. And so it's exciting to see our numbers increasing or almost doubling.
Sea turtles take about 30 years to mature and produce eggs. Mote Marine hopes next year will bring even more nests to area beaches. Plans are in the works for a new recreational trail in Manatee County. The 17-mile trail would connect parts of Parrish to Palmetto and Allenton by replacing an existing rail corridor. $500,000 in funding has been approved by the Florida Department of Transportation, and construction is planned to start sometime in 2019. New at noon, for the first time ever, a female ringmaster will be running the show at the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. Feld Entertainment, which is based in Manatee County, announcing Kristen Michelle Wilson will be the ringmaster for Circus Extreme. She beat out hundreds of candidates in a nationwide search to earn this prestigious role. She'll take the spotlight beginning January 12th at a performance at the Amway Center in Orlando. She'll then join the national tour of Circus Extreme. Wilson is only the 39th ringmaster in Ringling Brothers history. Very few people can say they've done that job.
Apparently so.
I don't know why it took so long.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like that story about sea turtles. That was kind of cool. That was really neat.
I mean, we not only broke the records, we obliterated the record just set last year.
And you know what? I think it goes to show that sometimes caretaking and managing our environment requires a long-term strategy where you might not see the results for a decade or two or three. So that's a neat story. We have across our region some dense fog still in progress. Take a look at this Casey Key webcam. Looks okay to start the day, not too terribly bad, but then putting it in motion, and boy, that fog forms pretty quickly. It dissipates a little again. And, you know, it all depends on which way the wind blows. And for a time this morning, the wind was blowing out of the north, and that helped to alleviate the problem. Well, the fog over land has kind of mixed away and burned away, but it's still pretty dense in places over our waters, and it's going to take a little longer to burn off there. Dense fog advisory is still in effect for our marine waters, with perhaps as much as maybe another couple of hours left before that completely burns off. As you can see, visibility over land just fine. Thank you very much. Cool shot here on the visible satellite imagery. You can see that fog kind of lingering out there. It's the cloud patch offshore, not moving at all. That's our fog, although it does kind of ebb and flow a little bit. Will we have fog again tonight? That's the big question. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few. Scott.
All right, John, thank you. A new luxury apartment complex opens today in Lakewood Ranch. People have already started moving into the 360 rentals available at Echo Lake Apartments. Work on this $50 million project began in January, and finishing touches are continuing to be added, with all amenities to be completely finished by April.
The demand has been incredible. The leasing so far has really exceeded our expectations and has really shown that there is a huge demand for additional housing options in addition to the traditional single-family and condo developments.
Units at the complex are available with 1, 2, and 3 bedroom floor plans. Manatee County School Board moving ahead with plans to build a new high school in Parrish. The board giving permission for district officials to enter in negotiations with a construction company and architect based in Sarasota to design the new school. The school will have room for 2,100 students and will be able to be expanded if necessary. It will be built on 100 acres of land near Martha and Erie Roads in northeastern Manatee. In Venice, a popular children's fountain is closed today. The interactive fountain in Centennial Park is closed while a Florida Power and Light contractor replaces nearby power poles. City says the work should only take a day to complete, and the fountain will be back open tomorrow. The sounds of the holidays delighting folks this morning at SRQ. Chamber Orchestra from Hale Middle School performing an ensemble of Christmas classics for passengers and airport workers at Sarasota Bradenton International. Those we spoke to say it was a pleasant alternative to the usual hustle and bustle at the airport. This is the school's 8th year playing at SRQ. They sound great. Time now to get over to the kitchen and check in for the first time with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Judy?
It's pork chop day. I love to cook nice, big, thick pork chops, whether I'm going to grill them outside or roast them in the oven or use my griddle pan. The key here is we're doing a coffee-crusted pork chop. I think it's a brilliant use of using a bold flavor and marrying it with some other seasonings. You can use Moroccan seasonings. If you have a little jar of maybe a steakhouse seasoning that you want to use, fantastic. Make your own blend by using other blends. So you're going to do the Uber blend of all blends today. We're going to take our thick cut pork chops that we got over at the Fresh Market on sale, always a good thing. We let them sit out for about 20 to 30 minutes to get a little bit more to room temperature so they'll be juicy. We're going to make the blend, and then we're going to do a little stir fry with pre-chopped vegetables to save you time in the kitchen with cranberries. So stay with me. It's a flavorful day here in the kitchen with coffee crusted pork chops.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
Flooring Depot has been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties for over 20 years with the best products and installation. Flooring Depot offers carpet, tile, hardwood, and more. Before you buy, give us a try. Stop by our showroom or visit us on the web at bestvaluecarpet.com.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
An important message for Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you receiving all the benefits available to you? Do you know there is money available to lower your Medicare prescription costs? Now's the time to find the coverage that's right for you at the right price. The way to do that is to explore your options. You can spend hours doing that yourself, or you can call Health Markets and let us do the legwork for you with no cost or obligation. We'll search a variety of plans from nationally recognized companies to find the coverage that's the best fit for you at a price that fits your budget, and we'll do it at no charge to you. Plus, you may be able to save money on prescriptions. We'll tell you if you qualify. Why pay a penny more than you have to for an insurance policy? Let us find you the right plan at the right price and see if you qualify to lower your prescription costs. Put our free service to work for you at no charge.
Call the number on the screen now to make sure you're getting all the benefits you deserve. Don't wait. Call now.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, so if you had to commute over the Skyway Bridge this morning, this is the view from the FDOT camera northbound just a little bit past the tower. You can see the fog kind of came and went and at times made driving difficult, but the bridge was never closed down. Now it's bright and sunny out there. Really all depends on which way the wind is blowing and just how strong the winds are and whether there's cloud cover or there isn't. Sunny skies being reported at the airport right now, but you go out into Gulf waters and it wasn't but a couple hours ago that we had reports from some of the steamships out there, some of the cruise ships of less than 1/10 of a mile visibility. So pea soup. The fog out in Gulf waters is going to last a little bit longer, and that dense fog advisory has been extended for the waters until 3 p.m. Everywhere else it's been discontinued. 65-degree dew point. Temperature is at 75. As you get that spread between temperature and dew point, the fog goes away. West-southwest wind coming in at about 6 right now. And temperatures across the region that are generally getting pretty close to the 80-degree mark in inland areas and then closer to the coast, hovering into the mid to lower 70s where the fog was a little thicker and reduced the sunlight a little bit longer. So will we get fog tomorrow? Well, you know what? Sometimes in meteorology, the answer is not yes and no. It's degrees of possibility, probabilities for how much fog we'll get, where it will be. I think it's pretty safe to say that we'll get some fog out in Gulf waters tomorrow, but we do have an approaching front. And that approaching front is going to do a couple of things in terms of putting a fly in the ointment of fog development. Those two things are going to be wind speed and cloud cover in particular. But one thing I can tell you is after that front moves through tomorrow afternoon, we'll get a wind shift out of the north and even northeast. And once that happens, our chances of fog are gone. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, gone. Not going to get any fog. So a little bit of fog, then the sun-cloud mix. We'll have dry skies, and then we wait for that front tomorrow. Those are your weather highlights. So what could be the issues that would prevent fog? Well, cloud cover. I think it'll be a warmer night tonight than it was this morning and the morning before. So consequently, it will be further and further away from the dew point. It's only when your temperature and dew point are a match that something has to happen, and that sometimes is fog production. So if we can keep the temperature higher than the dew point by a good margin, more than 3 or 4 degrees, then the fog that forms would be much less. So that's one hope that'll eliminate the fog chances. The other is that with that front approaching, our wind speeds will pick up just a little bit during the overnight. However, they will also be still onshore, so sea fog that forms could be blown back in this direction. But the faster the wind speeds are, the less chance there is for fog development. So I would have to say that if I had to guess at what the fog chances would be tomorrow morning for the morning commute, I'd put them at about 20, 30, maybe 40%, somewhere in there. Less than 50%. So that's the good news. Certainly after Thursday, the chances of fog are 0 because we'll have that strong wind coming offshore. Well, southwest wind coming in at about 5 knots, increasing in intensity during the overnight to about 15. We'll look for 2 to 3 foot seas and a light chop on bay and inland waters. And the forecast in the extended range looks pretty good. The front comes through tomorrow with a slight chance at maybe some sprinkles or drizzle early on in the morning. And then it clears pretty rapidly in the afternoon. We'll get up to a temperature that's about 3 or 4 degrees cooler than we see today. And that'll be true on Friday as well. Then we start to heat back up as we head into the second half of the weekend. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. And health news today. In what could be described as his final parting gift, President Obama has signed a bill that is expected to bring major breakthroughs in battling cancer and other diseases. The 21st Century Cures Act boosts federal research and funding for cancer, mental health issues, and opioid addiction. It passed the House earlier this month in what experts are calling a rare act of bipartisanship. The bill is named after Vice President Joe Biden's late son, Beau, who died last year from brain cancer. Joe Biden has spent the last year lobbying Congress and securing funding for the $6.3 billion bill.
God willing, this bill will literally, not figuratively, literally save lives. But most of all, what it does, just this mere signing today, Mr. President, as you know better than I do, gives millions of Americans hope.
The bill also includes $1.8 billion in funding for the Vice President's Cancer Moonshot Initiative. President Obama considers the act one of the strongest tools against some of the greatest health challenges of our time. A common therapy used to treat prostate cancer is now being questioned. Androgen deprivation therapy, or ADT, is a common course of treatment. But now a new study is suggesting that long-term use of it could increase risk for dementia. Researchers tested 9,000 men diagnosed with prostate cancer, and they found that men who had been on ADT for at least a year had a higher likelihood of developing dementia, as well as men who started the therapy over the age of 70. ADT has also been associated with metabolic syndrome, which raises the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. Here at home, students at Manatee Technical College treated to free medical services. Last week, local dentist and hygienist gave 44 migrant students free dental care. The initiative is part of a community service project called the Passport to Wellness Dental Project. This is a joint mission between Manatee Technical College and the nurses of Manatee County Schools. Those who were treated have limited access to routine dental care. Still to come in your Suncoast News, intense flames trap a family inside their apartment, the daring move one mother makes to save her family. But first, a local high school basketball player is celebrating a major goal. Now she's looking to take her team to the next level. Her story is our Athlete of the Week, and that segment is next.
ABC 7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
Since 1928, Karastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Karastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Holiday scratch-offs are here, and oh, they make great surprises. Imagine the joy they will bring. With over $126 million in prizes, use them for a wreath or a place card for your feast. Attach them, scratch them, and let the magic happen. Holiday scratch-offs. The Florida Lottery has them. Just imagine.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter mile north of University Parkway.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Sarasota, we're uncorking something special at Michael's Wine Cellar and Tasting Room. Shop in a relaxed atmosphere with our wine specialists. you'll find 1,000 international wines, 200 under $20. National brand and boutique liquors at competitive pricing. Handcrafted beers. Stop by Michael's Wine Cellar and Tasting Room today and let us show you something exceptional.
In sports news, Kevin Durant is looking to show there's no hard feelings toward the Oklahoma City Thunder after deciding to leave them for the Golden State Warriors. Durant's foundation donating $57,000 towards an effort to build a new school for Oklahoma City's homeless children. The school's president says Durant has been instrumental in helping the school's growth. He spent 8 seasons in Oklahoma City before leaving as a free agent last summer. Here at home, a former NFL quarterback stopped in town to show a little love to our local veterans. Terry Bradshaw was at Captain Kurt's on Siesta Key yesterday. He signed autographs and bottles of his Four Roses bourbon, with all the proceeds going to the Wounded Warriors Project. Bradshaw took a lot of hits during his long NFL career, but he says it's nothing compared to those who have served our country.
My service is nothing. I mean, come on, what I did professionally is a joke. I've never been shot, and I've never lost a limb. I've been shot in the head.
Bradshaw won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years during the 70s with the Steelers and is now a star on the Fox NFL show. He and the owner of Captain Kurt's, Dave Stewart, are looking to raise about $20,000 for the Wounded Warriors Project. Great effort. Our ABC 7 Athlete of the Week just achieved a major milestone, and it's only the beginning of her junior season. ABC 7's Don Brennan is here with more on this talented young lady. Don?
Thank you, Scott. Just watching Sophie Giardina for a few minutes, and you could see immediately that she commands a presence on the basketball court. She has helped the Bradenton Christian Panthers to an undefeated start. First and foremost, Sophie Giardina, a junior at Bradenton Christian School, is a scorer. She proved that by eclipsing the 1,000-point mark for her career.
It didn't really feel any different than any other point, honestly, but it was really nice, knowing that I achieved that goal, because I've had that goal since I was in 7th grade. So it was a big accomplishment for me, because I know I have a team that loves me a lot.
In a similar fashion to Michael Jordan, Giardina's game is evolving. She can do it all on the court, but being a cog in the team wheel is what is going to get this team to the next level, and she embraces the group dynamic.
I love my teammates. I love that we're all encouraging to each other, and we're all there for each other, and it's really nice working together and learning to play better together as we keep going on throughout the season.
She's been a good leader on the court. Sometimes I have to slow her down and get her in charge, but she's learning to do that and to play with the other girls on the team. So it's been a true asset for us. She's a blessing for our team. Sophie transferred from Southeast this year, but she had been at Bradenton Christian prior to high school, so the gelling process has been easier. In fact, this team is out to a 7-0 start this season. They've played together before when Sophie was here before in 8th grade, so they're familiar with their style. And as the girls all adjust to one another and learn to play well together, some great things have happened. Some great plays have been made, and it's been fun to watch. Congratulations to Sophie Giardina of Bradenton Christian School. She is our ABC7 Athlete of the Week. And Scott, the Michael Jordan's reference I meant is, when he came into the league, he was just a scorer, and everybody thought that he'd never make anybody better or be able to be a part of a championship team because he was selfish. But he turned his whole game around, Defensive Player of the Year several times. He passed. He was just a good player all around, and that's what she's doing. She's starting to evolve. And I just want to give a quick shout-out to her schoolmate at Bradenton Christian, sophomore soccer player for the Panthers, Molly Setsma, scored 6 goals on Monday night in a win against Keswick, and that is the school record, and she has 19 goals on the season already.
That's a good night.
Yeah, it is 6 goals.
That's awesome.
Double hat trick.
Yep. All right, Don, thank you so much. Let's get back to the kitchen now and check in on those pork chops with Judy Gallagher.
Welcome back. Okay, we're going to take some instant espresso. When you're using the ground coffee, you want to use the instant because basically you want it to melt away into the meat, and you don't want your friends to be picking out coffee grinds from their teeth, right? So use that instant and just make this blend. Now for me today, I'm using a combination of Moroccan seasonings and a steakhouse blend, and of course traditional salt and pepper. So you want to coat your pork chops pretty liberally with them, and once we get them in the pan, we'll work on the other side. Okay, let's get a little more right over there. Now we've got the pan going on a nice high heat, and I have the temperature in the oven at set about 400 degrees, so we can finish them off in the oven. What you don't want to do is burn the outside and not have it cooked enough in the inside. But you know, I grew up with my poor mom always, you know, back in the day, it was you cooked your pork well done. Well, it's not so anymore, folks. So I want to make sure that you understand that. So as I sprinkle my espresso blend onto the pork chops, look at that. Boom, perfect. Now I can take my gloves off, okay? Save a pinch of seasoning for the end. We have salt and pepper already on the pork chops. I tend to put my salt and pepper on right at the end. I don't like to salt and pepper them, then let them sit, because the salt is going to extract moisture from the pork chops, which we love. So that is going to be going great. Now let's talk about the next steps. The next steps are, to save time, I went over and I purchased some chopped vegetables, because yep, even chefs are running around and time is essential, and not everybody loves to chop. For me, I like washing the vegetables and chopping them. That's kind of my favorite part of the meal. But for so many people, you don't have a lot of time. This is a great way. And if you're cooking for one or two, you don't want to have to commit to buying too much. It might be more expensive to buy it already cut, say about $10, but in the long run, you're not going to throw out ingredients too. So now we have our wok pan, always an essential to keep in your kitchen. I'm going to add a little oil to that. I happen to have olive oil out. Normally, I might just use some vegetable oil. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add my apples, some Honeycrisp apples or Fuji apples. It's our summer take of pork chops and applesauce. So when we come back, we're going to stir fry up a little more goodness and bring this whole meal together. I think you're just going to love it.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
A poodle butter dish. I'll use this. A chicken purse. It's so artsy. You're really good at giving gifts.
This holiday, give the perfect gift.
Perfect.
Flowers, always the perfect gift. Beniva Flowers and Gifts, exceeding your expectations.
Kick off the season and find a unique holiday gift at the St. Petersburg Holiday of the Arts. Over 100 artists and thousands of works of contemporary art in photography, glass, sculpture, jewelry, and much more. The 3rd annual St. Petersburg Holiday of the Arts. Saturday and Sunday, December 17th and 18th at South Straw Park in St. Petersburg. Bring your sense of discovery and appreciation of the beautiful at the St. Pete Holiday of the Arts. For more information, visit ParagonArtEvents.com.
Alex Karras Lincoln's holiday sales event is here. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $269 per month, or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Today marks the 4th anniversary of one of the deadliest and most tragic mass shootings in U.S. history. A moment of silence was held this morning for the victims of Sandy Hook massacre. Back in 2012, a 20-year-old man went into the school in Newtown, Connecticut, and killed 20 children and 6 educators after killing his mother in her home. The shooter used a powerful assault rifle, and efforts to change gun laws were unsuccessful following the massacre. Prayer services are also planned, and a counseling center will be open for extended hours. Well, new at noon, some major new developments in the unsolved murder of 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey. Police and prosecutors in Boulder, Colorado are looking into using new DNA testing technology in hopes of solving this 20-year-old case. The move comes after an investigation by local media there that uncovered flaws in the previous DNA testing. The new test would also tap into an FBI database that includes genetic profiles for more than 15 million known offenders and arrestees. JonBenet Ramsey was found dead in the basement of her family's home the day after Christmas in 1996. Happening today, prosecutors are calling their final witnesses in the death penalty case of Dylann Roof. He's accused of killing 9 people during a Bible study at a Charleston church last year. The final witness is actually a survivor of the June 2015 shootings. Yesterday, the families of the victims sat in shock as prosecutors revealed Roof staked out their church several times in the months before the killings.
Of them. I got a text from one of the parishioners here, and her words resonated with me. She said, "My Lord, it could have been a lot of things, but we count our blessings."
Roof faces 33 federal charges, including hate crimes. His attorneys say he would be willing to plead guilty if prosecutors drop their pursuit of the death penalty. 2 semi-trucks that crashed overnight about 30 miles southeast of Nashville are causing problems on a Tennessee interstate. Authorities say one semi caught fire and dangerous chlorine-based chemicals are burning off. Both directions of Interstate 24 are closed, and state transportation officials are calling it a long-term closure. At least one neighborhood in that area has been evacuated due to the toxic cloud extending from the crash site for at least a mile. In Tampa, a mother tells her 2 children they have no choice but to jump from their 2nd-story balcony to escape a raging fire. That fire broke out yesterday afternoon in an apartment complex near the University of South Florida. Firefighters say someone left French fries cooking unattended on the stove in one of the first-floor units. Those flames immediately engulfed the building, trapping the mother and her 2 sons inside. She told them in order to live, there was only one option.
I saw the smoke coming in, and I was terrified, so I had to jump.
Boy's mother was hurt in that jump, but the boys are okay. Overall, 2 dogs died and 8 apartments were destroyed, leaving 20 people without homes for the holidays. Caught on camera in North Carolina, a postal worker jumps into action to save Christmas packages from his burning truck. The fire started in the truck's engine while he was out on deliveries. You can see the driver running to the back of the truck and fighting through the flames to save the gifts. Fire department eventually arrived and took over. Many of those saved packages were Amazon deliveries, and Amazon heard about this ordeal and will be now donating to the local fire department as a thank you to everyone's quick efforts to rescue those packages. And now to the big chill. At least 19 states are under freeze warnings. The cold weather stretches from the northern plains to the northeast. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez shows us more.
Today, up to 24 states from coast to coast under winter weather alerts. In Michigan, whiteout conditions, ice coating roads, and even this ship on Lake Superior as the upper Midwest gets hit with the worst of this bitterly cold blast. In Chicago, wind chills today dipping to 12 below.
I got 1, 2, 3. I got 3 layers. Then I got a sweatshirt. Then I got my work clothes under it.
And it's only going to get worse, with the feels-like temperature tomorrow expected to drop as low as -30 degrees, potentially the coldest mid-December weather in more than 20 years. The National Weather Service warning in this kind of extreme cold, it only takes 30 minutes for frostbite to set in.
Absolutely, it can be dangerous. So we're thinking mostly in this scenario about frostbite and hypothermia. both of which can be very dangerous to life and limb.
And more dangers with a snowstorm forecast to hit the Midwest later this week. In upstate New York, investigators are looking into whether a snowplow caused 2 boys to become trapped as they built a fort in a snowbank. One of the 12-year-olds died, the other rescued and now recovering in a hospital.
I heard a loud scream and say he's still alive. They got him out of the snowbank.
And more snow is in the forecast for the Northeast later this week. Here in New York, the temperature is expected to drop to 15 degrees tomorrow night. That would be the coldest late fall weather since 2005. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, New York.
Well, here at home, wow, we've been around 80 degrees, right?
Yes,
above
sir.
80.
Yeah, sure have. Been very warm indeed. In fact, many mornings we started off the morning with our normal high temperature for the day. We've been running really warm. Certainly nothing like minus 30. That's for sure. Oh, it just hurts to say those words.
Just to think about it.
Yeah, you remember those days. You hunted out subway grates to stand over to get some of that heat that would rise. Yeah, we won't say anything like that, although I think tonight will probably be even a little bit warmer maybe than this morning was when we were in the lower 60s. And that may aid in eliminating some of the fog. Yesterday, the short-range models that are pretty good at predicting fog indicated at this hour by 7 o'clock tonight we would have had about a 90% chance of seeing fog develop. Today, they are showing that tonight at about 8 o'clock we'll have about a 20 to 30% chance of fog forming. So we're looking better. It certainly wasn't looking very good at Lakewood Ranch this morning. Check out this webcam. Man, it was thick in places. I'll tell you what, visibility well below a quarter mile. But then the fog burned off much more efficiently over land than it is over water. And in fact, the fog advisory for the waters is still in effect, even though it's been discontinued for land. That'll be true till about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Visibility is excellent over land right now, and there'll be plenty of heating to get us up into the upper 70s. You can see that persistent band of cloudiness, it looks like, out in Gulf waters. That's fog, and some higher level clouds as well, just kind of sticking around. We have this evening a slight chance of seeing some sea fog form, but I don't think we'll see the pea soup that we've seen over the last couple of days. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. VIP visits continue at Trump Tower in New York. President-elect Donald Trump hosting a tech summit there. The summit brings together leaders from some of America's top companies. Also today, he picked former Texas Governor Rick Perry to lead the Department of Energy, an agency Perry once said he would eliminate. The Interior Secretary job has been offered to Congressman Ryan Zink of Montana. The retired Navy SEAL has pushed for increased drilling and expressed skepticism about climate change. Some critics are talking about the diversity of Trump's teams, since so far his top cabinet members are all white men.
There's 3 or 4 women that have already been announced. There will be diversity in the cabinet. There'll be diversity in the under cabinet. I'm sitting in on a lot of these interviews. The president asked Jim Brown and Pastor Darrell, we want diversity in the cabinet. We want diversity reflected throughout the government.
Also, for the first time, the Obama administration is standing in the way of the president-elect. The White House rejecting a request from the Trump team for a list of names of staffers who worked on climate change. The Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates for the first time this year. Rates would go up from 0.5% to 0.75%. The hike would most likely impact consumer and business loans, but Fed officials add that the pace of future rate increases will highly depend on the forecast of President-elect Trump's proposed tax cuts and infrastructure upgrades. New cars and trucks that talk to each other may be in our near future. The V2V, as it's known, can detect when another vehicle is about to run a red light, change lanes, or come around a blind turn in time to prevent a crash. The proposal calls for 50% of new vehicles to have this new technology within the next couple of years and 100% within 4 years. General Motors and Mercedes-Benz say they plan to include the technology in some of its 2017 models. And after months of delay, Apple's wireless earbuds are finally available for purchase. Online orders for the AirPods opened up yesterday. They're considered incredibly light and come with a built-in microphone for phone calls and the Siri voice assistant. They also have sensors to detect when you take one of the buds out of your ear. The AirPods cost $159. Right now, the estimated shipping time for them is about 4 weeks, so If you're looking to get them by Christmas, that's probably not going to happen. The AirPods will be available in Apple stores beginning next week. All right, let's get back to the kitchen and see how lunch is coming along with our culinary director, Judy Gallagher. Judy?
Okay, welcome back. Our pork chops with that beautiful espresso crusted seasoning blend. Lots of varieties of seasonings in here are searing off really well. Love the bone in and love the thicker cut. So in this pan, in my wok pan, I have the apples in a little oil, and I'm just bringing those apples up to temp. I really don't want them to cook, I just want them to heat up. Now we're gonna add some dried cranberries. So this is kind of a summer playful way of incorporating some of the flavors that we love with apples. We love with pork chops, and we're making it brighter with summer. So now I'm taking the stir fry. Like I said, I purchased it already cut up at the Fresh Market, and it's just really a quick way to be able to cook. Now remember, certain things take longer to cook than others, but what I'm looking at this meal is really fast. What does that mean, really fast? It means that it's okay if the asparagus is really crisp, and it's okay if the snow peas are a little more tender than waiting and doing everything differently. The key here is to just have them crisp and fresh and get that nice flavor. Now we don't need a lot of seasoning over in this pan, so what I like to do to just kind of get your brain thinking, these flavors really marry together, just that dusting that's left from the pork chops, let's go ahead and just dust that in there, and just a pinch of salt to bring up that flavor, and a pinch of fresh ground pepper. There, that's gonna be great. I would say it's gonna take about 3 minutes total, and these veggies are done. And like I said, they're really bright and flavorful. If you didn't use the apples, and it is summer, you might think about putting in some plums, just, you know, obviously not with the pitches, wedge them as well. Or some mango. If you're using the mango, add it at the very end, because it doesn't really need to cook. The heat from the vegetables can bring that up. I'm gonna take a quick peek at my pork chops. Once they're turned over and they're seared, oh yeah, look at this. They're seared on the next side for about 10 minutes. They're going in a 400-degree oven, so they'll be perfect. When I come back, it's ready for a taste and plate it up.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
And so the best that I can do is pray. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck let a gentleman sing. How nice a day.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
A 75-degree air temperature currently with a fair amount of sunshine out there. 65-degree dew point, the spread enough to get rid of the fog over land. We have temperatures approaching the 80-degree mark and cracking it even in inland areas already and near the coastline. Temperatures have been held down a little bit by the fact that, one, you got an onshore wind flow, and two, the fog has been a little bit thicker, a little bit longer right along the immediate coast, kind of blocking the sun and holding down temperatures. 71 in Inglewood, 72 in Venice, 68 degrees Longboat Key. We still have a fair amount of fog out in the Gulf, and that westerly wind around this area of high pressure is going to be persistent at least through the middle of the evening, or middle of the night, I should say, tonight. The frontal boundary itself, though, sinking southward, may trigger off a shower or two around here tomorrow morning, and it will certainly switch the wind direction around to the northwest as we head into tomorrow morning-ish. I think by about 9, 10 o'clock, the winds will be out of the east or northeast tomorrow, kind of pushing fog away from the coastline. I wish that we had a easterly wind flow at 8 o'clock this evening, right through the nighttime hours. That would make things a whole lot simpler and remove any doubt I have of fog reformation. But I think the wind speed's elevated enough and the cloud cover around sufficiently to keep our temperatures up at night. Should keep our fog issues tomorrow morning to a minimum. So fog today, then sun, still some fog near the coastline, dry skies though, and then we'll watch that front tomorrow bring us about a 20% chance of rain. It'll also bring us a mostly cloudy day, I think, as those clouds sink southward. That should keep our nighttime temperatures a little bit warmer, which is a good thing. That'll help to prevent the fog forming. And also a few sprinkles are certainly possible in the 3, 4, 5 o'clock time frame tomorrow morning. That's a possibility. Nothing heavy, certainly, but at least a little bit that maybe will wet the roadways. We'll be with you tomorrow morning at 5 to look at radar and let you know what's going on there. The RPM computer model put into motion shows that showery activity sinking southward and giving us that spot of rainfall, maybe, and then the front sinks south. The winds change direction, and we are free and clear of any kind of fog issues for 4 or 5 days. Check out the cold air moving to the east. We just talked about that in our story. Wow, imagine going to work with a 19-degree wake-up temperature in Washington, D.C., or 7 degrees in Boston. That's not factoring in the wind chills. It'll make it feel like minus 30. Ouch. But all that cold air slides off to the east, and we start to see warm air lifting north. And I think as we head into the end of the weekend, our temperatures, too, will start to warm up after a little bit of a dip with that frontal passage coming through tomorrow. Southwest wind at 5 knots, becoming more northerly at 15 knots as you get up and about tomorrow morning. 2 to 3 foot seas, light chop on bay and inland waters. Here's the forecast, and there may be some little bit of patchy fog in places tomorrow, perhaps. But it won't be a bad thing. It won't be as bad as it has been over the last 2 mornings by any stretch of the imagination. Temperatures will dip down a little bit tomorrow with that frontal passage, and then we'll be watching a pretty nice couple of days with lower relative humidity and mild temperatures. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Many people are celebrating the life and television career of Alan Thicke. The 69-year-old Growing Pains star died after suffering a heart attack yesterday. In a career spanning nearly 50 years, he accomplished quite a bit, from actor and writer to producer and composer. That's only part of it. ABC's Chris Connolly has the story.
A family sitcom on ABC in the 1980s helped the multi-talented Canadian Alan Thicke forge an enduring connection with audiences in the States. On Growing Pains.
This is my best buddy.
From 1985 to 1992, Thicke starred as Jason Seaver, work-at-home shrink.
How impossible doctors can be.
Yeah, I've heard. And spouse to Joanna Kern's Maggie, father to breakout star Kirk Cameron's Mike, Tracy Gold's Carol, and 2 younger sibs.
We will make sure that this is the most boring, uneventful night of her life.
Oh, and how do we do that?
Come on, I don't have to tell you how to make a night
Great juice, Mike.
A young Leonardo DiCaprio was featured in the show's last season. Just before Growing Pains, Thicke would be a talk show host on Thicke of the Night.
You take the good, you take the bad.
And from the beginning, central to his identity was his life as a musician, co-writing theme songs to a fistful of shows, The Facts of Life, and Different Strokes among them.
Different strokes to move the world.
For one generation, he'd be known as the father of Robin Thicke, he of the hugely controversial and just plain huge hit single, Blurred Lines. but it would be Growing Pains that would remain foremost in the minds of his devoted fans, among them his co-stars.
I've read a few places that you, Joanna, had a crush on.
That's a rumor I started.
He did. But how could I not have a crush on him?
Alan Thicke died on Tuesday at the age of 69. A father of 3, one of his last tweets featuring his advice for new dads: love, then love some more.
Chris Connolly reporting. When we come back, we're going to wrap up in the kitchen with Chef Judy, and the 1980s has left us with plenty of classic movies. What's being done now to make sure they're remembered for future generations? That story next in entertainment news.
Our dad is an incredible man, a great father, and a hero who served his country well. He worked hard to take care of us. Now we take care of Dad with the help of Granny Nannies.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Kick off the season and find a unique holiday gift at the St. Petersburg Holiday of the Arts. Over 100 artists and thousands of works of contemporary art in photography, glass, sculpture, jewelry, and much more. The 3rd annual St. Petersburg Holiday of the Arts. Saturday and Sunday, December 17th and 18th at South Straw Park in St. Petersburg. Bring your sense of discovery and appreciation of the beautiful at the St. Pete Holiday of the Arts. For more information, visit ParagonArtEvents.com.
Don't miss the 19th annual Thunder by the Bay Motorcycle Festival, January 5th through the 8th, to benefit Suncoast Charities for Children. This year's festival welcomes special guest Blue Oyster Cult to the premier sports campus at Lakewood Ranch on January 8th at 4 p.m. Admission is free. Festival events include a sporting clay tournament, kickoff party, welcome Thunder event, Cruise for Cash charity motorcycle ride, and a 2-day Rockin' and Ridin' at the Ranch festival featuring vendors, live music, a taste of Thunder area, and more. VIP tickets are available. For tickets and info, visit thunderbybthebay.org.
Rich finishes, beautiful colors, and over 1,000 different fabrics and leathers to choose from. With Bassett Custom Furniture at Bacon's Furniture and Bedding. Get a quality-built Bassett Queen Sleeper with your choice of inner spring, gel, or Airdream mattress, starting at only $9.99. Come in today, and we'll guarantee your Bassett Custom Furniture will be shipped before the holidays. With our complimentary design service, start designing, start loving. Only at Bacon's Furniture and Bedding in Port Charlotte. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Granny Nannies. We've been making house calls for over 25 years. When you need home health care services, there really is no place like home.
Grandma! A helping hand and a gentle heart.
So here we have it. These beautiful coffee crusted pork chops, nice and thick, have that great coating on it, cooked to a medium rare. And then I have the vegetables, asparagus, summer squash, cabbage, and I just added some Honeycrisp apples in the very beginning, and there's still that crispness to them, a little sweetness to the vegetables. And I also just cooked up some frozen sweet potato waffle fries. I love to serve this dish with mashed sweet potatoes as well, because it just reminds me of those great flavors that we love, but this is more summery. So you can find this recipe and so much more. Go on mysuncoast.com, click on the dining page. You're going to see some great restaurants up there, some great events that are happening around town in the food world, and of course our recipes. While I enjoy my lunch, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, Judy, thank you so much. Shannon Doherty is giving us an up-close look at her fight against breast cancer. The actress sharing an Instagram photo of herself in a hospital gown alongside her mother. In the caption, she writes she was undergoing another day of radiation therapy, and even though she's tired, she and her mom are still going Christmas shopping. The 45-year-old's cancer was publicly revealed in a lawsuit filed against her former business managers last year, in which she claimed they mismanaged her money and allowed her health insurance to lapse. The Library of Congress adding to its National Film Registry. The Breakfast Club, The Princess Bride, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit are among 25 movies that will be tapped for preservation this year. Other ones include Thelma and Louise, Wes Anderson's Rushmore, and Disney's The Lion King. The library selects movies based on their cultural, historic, and artistic importance. Overall, there are now 700 films in the registry. Finally, if you're looking for a tech job, this is a very unique one. A London firm is looking to hire the world's first emoji translator. The ideal person would be decoding how the emojis translate across cultures and languages. For example, a face with tears in some cultures means laughter, but of course in other cultures it could mean grief. This is a very serious job opportunity. More than 100 people from around the world have applied for it so far.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought emojis were to remove ambiguity from text messaging, and here shows that just add to it.
I kind of use them to enhance what I'm trying to say, or just like an exclamation point, and another way of using that.
Maybe it'll end up that there's really nothing like a phone call.
Just talking.
Just talking. Go figure.
Yep.
Bob will have updated information on the possibility of fog formation tonight at 5.
Hope to see you then, everyone. Have a great day ahead.
Sarasota Jungle Gardens invites your family to the Holiday Light Spectacular select nights in December. Come enjoy dazzling light displays, live entertainment, and pictures with Santa. Tickets and information available at the door or online at SarasotaJungleGardens.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.